What's up, guys? This is my first podcast, so on YouTube, of course. But today, we're going to talk about how important diet really is, or how important training is, right? Which, if you could only choose one, which would be the most important, right? And on this podcast, I talk about everything. I'll talk about sports. I'll talk about fitness. Different things going on in the world, social media, stuff like that, right? So it's a cool place to hang out, learn stuff, hear about different things, etc. Right? I don't know if you guys are Houston Rockets fans, but James Harden, Russell Westbrook did their thing last night, so we got the win, so that was good. But I don't want to get too much off track, so let's get into it, right? So which is more important? Is it more important to have a good diet, or is it more important to go to the gym, right? Well, the key is they're both important. They're both very important, right? But if I had to choose one over the other, let's say you take a 45-year-old person or a 35-year-old person, right? And you have to find out, like, okay, is athlete 1 going to do better, or athlete 2, or person 1 or person 2, right? So let's first describe person 1. Person 1 goes out a lot, drinks, eats like shit. They don't, they're not real good with their diet, but they go to the gym like 6 days a week, 5-6 days a week, right? But they eat like shit, right? And they're probably around like maybe 15 to 20% body fat, right? And then you have person B, right? We could say men or women. Now, men obviously are going to have a little bit less body fat to begin with, and they can get away with eating some more junk than women can. But let's just take athlete B, for instance, right? This person eats super clean. They don't eat after 8 o'clock. They just keep everything really, really clean and on schedule, and they don't screw up. They don't go out to drink, this and that. But they eat really well, and most importantly, they're in a calorie deficit, right? But not too big of one where they lose muscle, right? So they're in just enough where they burn that little excess fat that they have, right? I will take person B over person A any day of the week. The person who has a very good diet and is on point with everything, I'd rather take that. This is the same reason that people go to the gym 4-5 days a week for 4 or 5 years and look exactly the same. You ever see, and hey, no disrespect if it's you, but you got to be real with yourself. You got to get your diet better and your calories right? You got to get in a deficit to get the results you want. Stop doing crunches. They're not going to do anything for you. Stop doing shit on the Swiss ball, right? Stop doing all that stuff, right? If your idea is, hey, I want to lose weight and get that fat off, okay? You want to build some solid muscle, don't get me wrong, that's important, but you need to lose that through your diet. A lot of the way I train my clients is this. I say the results that we're going to get physically, most of the time where we're going to see is from our diet. Because, listen, you ever in anatomy see one of the models, right? The muscle models, right? You see every single muscle. Why? Because they have no fat. There's no fat on the models, right? They don't put any skin or fat on them, right? And the same holds true in us. There's someone who has a 2-3-4% body fat and just very low fat overall is going to look a lot different than the person who has 15 or 20% body fat, right? But what's going to reduce the body fat? High intensity. See, here we go. Here's why you need both. High intensity training, HIIT training. Let's just say like jumping rope, sprinting, stuff like that, right? That's high intensity training. And your diet, right? That's going to keep that fat off you and keep everything on track, right? So that's what I'm saying is that's why people look exactly the same 4 years. They look exactly the same at the gym. They don't get any weight. They don't lose any weight. They don't get any. They look almost exactly identical, right? They're like, oh man, you haven't changed. The person looks exactly the same, right? But what I'm trying to tell you is if all they did was either, because I don't know what their goals are. It depends on the person, right? If their goal is to lose fat, all they would have to do is just make sure they're in a calorie deficit and 2-3 weeks time, you would already see a difference. Man, Charlie, you look like you've been working out a lot lately. It looks like you've changed a lot. Oh, well, I cleaned up my diet. Yeah, that's going to make the biggest difference that you're going to see. Or you could have the vice versa, the other end, the skinny guy who's trying to gain weight, right? But he has trouble gaining weight because he doesn't eat enough quality calories. He doesn't eat enough quality calories. He eats like, he's like, oh, I eat all the time, because he eats bags of chips, he drinks soda, shit like that, and he wonders why he doesn't gain weight. In order to gain weight, you got to eat quality calories, right? You got to eat a lot of complex carbohydrates. You got to eat a lot of fruits. You got to eat your vegetables. And you definitely need to eat your proteins, like at a pound, for like 1 pound per your body weight if you're trying to gain weight, okay? I just made up my own diet. It's called the Earth Diet, right? And you guys could try it if you'd like to. It's pretty awesome. I'll explain what it is. And I'm already seeing like results from one day, like 1 and 2 days. I'm already seeing a little bit more vascularity. I'm seeing drop in my water. You know why? Because all the food that I'm getting, right, in my system has a lot of potassium in it. So my thing is, every meal you need to have either a potato or a sweet potato. Besides breakfast. Breakfast, you can have a shake. You can have eggs with spinach, whatever you want, right? But every other meal has to have a potato or a sweet potato in it, or corn, right? Some type of complex carbohydrate that comes from the earth that you literally just pick it out of the ground, you cook it, and it's done, right? You don't have to mill it. You don't have to harvest it. You don't have to do anything, right? It's like ready to go. So corn, those are the 3 staples, your starchy vegetables, right? So you can have corn, you can have sweet potato, you could have regular potato, right? Lots of potassium in there. And then what you also get to have is a piece of fruit, right? So you get to have like, what do you want? An apple, you want a banana, 1 piece, or like maybe a cup, right? A cup of blueberries, cup of strawberries, something like that, okay? So 1 animal source of protein, or if you're a vegan, you can go plant. But I haven't done it it's not meant to be a plant-based, because there's butter or there's other things that are involved, right? So you have an animal source of protein, or seafood, it's fine. No salmon though, that's like the most toxic fish there is. Farm-raised salmon, not good at all. So 1 animal source of protein, 1 starchy vegetable like corn, sweet potato or potato, okay? And then number 3, a piece of fruit, and then a green vegetable every meal, right? So you're gonna have in the morning you can have a shake, right? You can make a protein shake with a banana or apple or something. You can just have a regular smoothie if you want. That's kind of playable around, right? You can play with that, whatever you like best, whatever works for you, okay? But your other meals, like your lunch or your dinner or stuff like that, again, we stick to the Earth plan, the one I just gave you. So it's really optional. I mean, you can throw any piece of fruit you want in there. Any green vegetable is cool with me, and really any animal protein. So it's you can kind of play with it. You don't have to be so strict and pick this or do that or eat a half a cup of this or that, because I will tell you this, right? I could go out of the buffet, eat like 5 plates of food, right, at the sushi buffet. Just absolutely pound them down, tastes awesome, etc. I eat 5 plates. If I eat a big potato, like some chicken or steak, a piece of fruit, and some vegetables, man, I am stuffed. I am like absolutely, completely packed full, right? Way more than I would be when I was at the buffet, even after 5 plates. It's crazy. So the reason that it works so well is because it gives your body everything you need, and it keeps you full for a really long time. So you're not craving, you're not getting super hungry. And it doesn't, you're not going to have these, like, I don't have any high and low right now. I didn't take any energy drink or anything today. And I like to sometimes, but I didn't take any. But it gives you B's, C's, A's, D's, it gives you all the vitamins that you need. It gives you creatine if you're, because we have our meats in there, sometimes you're going to have steak or beef. So you're going to get your creatine, you get your iron, you get B's. Literally, every meal has every single thing you need in it. Right, as far as food-wise. That's why I love it. And I haven't seen it yet. I've seen the Paleo. I've seen the Avengers not the Avengers or whatever it is, that new vegan film out. I forget what it's called. But It's basically, kind of the methodology from theirs, which is eat lots of fruits and vegetables and things like that, but combining it with proteins and combining it with starchy vegetables that are healthy for you, right? Beans are okay, like black beans are cool, garbanzo beans, those are cool. So things like that are fine. Spinach, asparagus, all good to go, but really don't want people too much cheese and stuff like that on the diet. But you can have grass-fed butter. There's a brand called Carrie's Gold, and it's from grass-fed cows. So, you're getting a lot of the good nutrients that come from grass-fed cows, like CLA, conjugated linoleic acid, which helps you build muscle and makes you lose fat at the same time. Pretty cool stuff. And if you have an unpasteurized farm where you live, you can get raw milk or raw cheese, and that's okay to have. Try to stick away from the sugars and things like that, but this diet, it's going to be great for you because it gives you the fats, it gives you the proteins, it gives you the vegetables, it gives you everything you need, right? So let's go over it again. 1 animal protein, or vegan protein if you want to. You get 1 piece of fruit, right? Like a cup of fruit or a banana or whatever, right? You get a starchy vegetable, sweet potato, regular potato, or corn. And then you get a green vegetable. That's what you have every meal. You only need, 2 or 3 of those meals a day. You have your protein shake in the morning, and maybe like a little snack in between. But I'm telling you, you're going to be full. You're not going to be like starving and craving to eat because you're giving your body the nutrients that it wants. The reason that you reach for other stuff is because you're not giving the body the nutrients it needs. Okay, if that makes sense. So on all my food, I always put Himalayan sea salt. That's always the one I use. I tell my fiance I don't care how much we put on it because at the end of the day, Himalayan sea salt is really beneficial for you, as it will. If your blood pressure's high, it will lower it. If it's low, it will raise it to like a homeostasis, right? And let's say you have too much water in you. You try it. Get some Himalayan sea salt, the good stuff. Take a half a teaspoon, put in some water, drink it. I promise you, in just a little bit, maybe 20 minutes, you'll go to the bathroom and you'll start detoxifying, right? So, yeah. So back to the original thing. The best results you're going to get is doing a solid diet that's going to keep the inflammation down, going to keep the fat off, and keep the muscle growth up, right? That's the number one thing. The second most important thing, believe it or not, if I had to choose, diet number 1 over working out. And that's why sometimes you don't need to train with a trainer 4 days a week or 3 days a week if your diet is on point, right? So the diet makes everything, okay? So that's where I would choose. If I had to choose the person who has the better diet or the person who works out all the time, I'd choose the person who has the best diet. Because at the end of the day, as long as that person that has that diet is keeping a calorie deficit, they're going to outperform the other person who's not in a calorie deficit, because even though they're working out, burning 600-700 calories, they're also eating like 3,000 or 4,000 a day and not burning that off, right? So as soon as they would adjust their calories, then they would see the big difference, right? So, yeah, I mean, I hope that stuff was helpful for you. Which is more important, the diet or the workouts? And then I also hope that the diet that I just told you was very informative, and hopefully it helped you as well. If you want to test it out with me, you can go to my Instagram at Fitlifeconrad, and I'll be more than happy to go over the different things with the diet and the things it consists of. I'll also be happy to give you some of my free ebooks I've created, so no problem there. On the YouTube, just make sure you like. If you like what you saw, hit me with a comment. If you don't have something positive to say, I'd really rather you not say something. But freedom of speech, say whatever you want. And, I hope you like my podcast. And this is my first video, and I hope to make, great ones to follow. And I hope this was very informative for you. And if you have any questions, Conrad Quinter is my Facebook. And again, my Instagram is Fitlifeconrad, okay? And if you want to go to my website and set up a free appointment with me, it's fitcoachconrad.com. Anyways, guys, I hope that was helpful for you. Today is the 29th, so it's going to be Halloween soon, so I hope everybody has a great Halloween. And, yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day. God bless. Take care.